Good, beautiful Sunday morning, everybody, from Glenmore, Louisiana. SFAPowerhouse in the driver's position.
Crew Chief in the shotgun position.
We're just driving through Glenmore, Louisiana, heading our way back towards the Lake Charles area and going back to Texas here after making some great visits out here in Central Louisiana. Going down U.S. Highway 165, I believe. Yes?
Yes.
Yep. And it's a beautiful Sunday, and with this being the start of November, we know we have a few things to discuss. First off, let me just say that as a Texan going through Louisiana, they are a stickler for some rules, like especially about the left lane being used for passing. They're sticklers about that. And in fact, I saw that they released a law recently, or released a notice from state police in Louisiana saying that they're upping the punishment on those who camp out in the left lane without using it for passing.
Right. And they're very, very particular about speed limits. So if you're driving through these small towns with these speed limits, follow the speed limit. Don't waste your money on a speeding ticket.
Yeah, they are pretty stickler. They're pretty stickling about that. But like I said, going back to those camping out in the left lane when they're not supposed to. You're supposed to go faster in the left lane to pass the other cars.
Yeah.
And I did recently see that they up the punishment, up the fines for that quite a bit to discourage everyone from camping in the left lane and actually, move.
Right.
Which I'm totally in favor of.
Yes.
And I know I'm a Texan, so I cannot vote in Louisiana, but I'm totally in favor of that. So from our cousins in the Louisiana state, we approve.
Yes. Definitely.
Anyway, now I've not made any big memories in Central Louisiana, because I'll be honest with you, I did not really come to Central Louisiana as often as I do until I met you, Crew Chief.
That's very true.
So I know you have quite a few more memories here than I do.
Yes, I do. Most of the time I remember, traveling from my family here to visit my family, my grandparents who live in Louisiana. Most of the time was coming here to spend time at their house. And if we would go into town for like grocery shopping or whatnot, we would my grandmother would make sure that she looked right, that her hair was good, she put on her makeup, basic things, get ready to go to town. And we go to the grocery store, get groceries. We go down to the mall. At the time, I remember this particular mall, they had a carousel in the food court area, and a lot more shops were open. Unfortunately, a lot of stores are closing down, and it's pretty much dwindling away. And it's funny because it used to be, malls were the place to be, to go shopping and things like that.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, like most of the time, I remember going to like a nursery festival, and I mean like with plant nursery festival, and it was nearby my grandparents' place. make time to spend together.
Absolutely. Never ever spare a moment to be with your family, no matter how far apart they are.
Exactly.
Believe me, your life will be so much better for it. Now, about my particular memories in Central Louisiana, of course, the first one was, now I've been to Louisiana many times before I met you, but that was mostly around Lake Charles or Benton, and maybe one time or two in New Orleans. So not so much in Central Louisiana, but around all up and down the Gulf Coast of Louisiana, so to speak.
Right.
So my first time coming up to Central Louisiana for a real visit or anything like that was honestly the first time I came around to say hello to your family. I was in college at the time. I was feeling enough pressure as it was, and so I don't think I made the best impression that I could have, and I feel like I haven't. I wish it was better for me, but when you're dead focused on college and making sure you don't mess it up,
Right.
And you're feeling the pressure, especially when you don't have any scholarships.
Yeah.
Fortunately through more visits and more getting to know them, I felt like I was a lot more at ease, especially when you and I dated for more than a year.
Right.
I felt a lot more at ease. So the more I visit them, the more I really come to admire them and love them. And so, come up here, just seeing the beautiful forests and great farmlands out here, and all the nurseries. There's a lot of nurseries out here. I'm impressed. And seeing all the great flowers and plants that they raise up in those nurseries. Oh yeah. And getting that great Cajun jambalaya and Creole spiced cuisine.
Yeah.
Love it. It's the only kind of cuisine I don't like is shrimp or any kind of seafood. I mean, I'll take jambalaya all day long. I love that. Gumbo. Oh yeah, sausage and chicken gumbo, Creole style. Oh yeah, that's some good stuff right there.
Yeah.
So I'm say there's a lot of things I like about Louisiana, but the culture so rich in music and cuisine. I'll tell you what, you can't help but admire that.
I will say that my memories here in Louisiana, as far as food that I've experienced, mostly was eating at my grandparents' house, and my grandmother did most of the cooking. And as far as the foods weren't very spicy, but they're pretty much normal foods we had. But the best meal I remember having at their house was black-eyed peas from their garden over rice. Oh my gosh, that is a meal unto itself.
Sounds good.
It is.
All right. And then the more I visited out here, when I came across Alexandria International Airport, AEX, and I saw it was one of the most beautiful regional airports out here. Of course, it has internet. It does have international capacity. It does have the facilities to facilitate international flights.
Yeah.
But when I realized how beautiful it was and how great it was for spotting, I just couldn't resist. So visiting out here in Central Louisiana was a lot more than just family. I made a mistake. I love your family, but anytime I can get away to AEX, I take it.
I know you do.
And then I started riding my bikes and riding a motorcycle, and I started visiting those guys at Taboo Harley Davidson. Sadly, before they closed a couple years ago.
I will say one thing I like about AEX, the times I've been with you, whenever you would go look at planes, I do like the fact that they have on the second floor they have sort of like an observation kind of deck where you can sit and watch the planes take off. Most airports will not allow you to go into the terminal you can't go into the terminal unless you have a ticket. But there's not that many airports that have places where people can just go, hang out or have supper, watch the planes take off or whatever, observation deck. So it's one of the few I've seen lately that has that area.
I'll be honest, there's only two airports that I've seen with such a beautiful observation deck. AEX in Alexandria, Louisiana, and Albany in New York. Oh, a beautiful viewing deck up there. I wish we spent more time up there, but...
Well, next time we go to Cooperstown, we'll do that.
Yep. So, made a mistake. And of course, out in Louisiana, there is legalized gambling here, so they got casinos all around Louisiana. So we've been to a few out here and there. Most of the time I lost, but on the very rare occasion, I got lucky in the penny slots, which doesn't in the grand scheme of things, penny slots doesn't really amount to much.
No, but you can spend more time on the penny slots, and just be forewarned. Once that money's gone, it's gone.
Exactly.
So, good rule of thumb: bring whatever cash you have. Don't bring any extra. Leave your credit card, debit cards away from you. Less tempting to take more cash out. Seriously, whatever cash you have, use it. Set aside at least $20 at least. Set aside $20 for at most to get gas to go home. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Always set that aside.
Exactly. So, I mean, yeah, you want to be careful. And here's the thing. Unfortunately, some people are addicted to gambling. Like, they could become addicted to alcohol or nicotine, which is, that's bad. So, so if you feel yourself, compulsively, just throwing your money away at the casino, seek help.
Yes.
There's people out there who can definitely help you. Just listen. Like anything like that, only in moderation.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm not advocating for compulsive gambling at all times. No. We are not for that here at SFA Powerhouse.
Nope, we are not.
Okay, in moderation, just for the thrill of it, or just to experience it. And if you do get lucky, don't become so attached to it, because when the odds are stacked against you like 50,000 to 1, and any chance you get lucky, hey, cash out and get out of there.
Yes.
Okay.
And once again, at most, set aside $20 to get you back home, to put gas in your car.
Yeah.
To get you home.
Exactly.
Always plan that.
Exactly. So like I said, just be careful and be cautious. That's all we're saying. Okay. So, like I said, Louisiana has a lot to offer.
Yeah.
The culture, cuisine, the music scenes, and of course, you can't. Seriously, in Alexandria, you cannot take one step into Alexandria without hearing or talking or even smelling something reminiscent to LSU football.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Now, unfortunately, we're at a time where the LSU football team is in the whole athletic department is in a little bit of a shakedown. What am I saying? A major shakedown. They just fired their head football coach and their athletic director. So LSU athletics is in major shakeup.
So right now, any discussion about LSU football is going to be put on hold until further notice.
Yeah, and yes, this started right after the Texas A&M Aggies beat LSU. So
I will say, anyway, I will say that. But one thing I do like about Louisiana, they have these convenience stores called Why Not Stop. The Why Not Stop, and you see a lot of them around Louisiana. They're very nice. So the Why Not Stop is a good convenience store to stop and get something to snack on.
Yeah, and while it's not on, I agree, it's a nice little convenience store. Now, it's nowhere near as big as, say, a Buggy's, okay? It's not as big as Buggy's, but still, they have nice things for you to consume if you're on the road for a long time.
Yes.
So Why Not does have some good stuff, so don't be afraid to check those out. If you don't have Buggy's, check out Why Not.
Yes.
All right. And so as we're going through these small towns, bear in mind, these small towns, police officers are out there to catch you if you're going even too far above the speed limit. So watch your signs.
Yes. Cruise control if you have it.
Yeah. Use it whenever you can. All right. Now, bear in mind, we just turned over a new month. We're in the month of November. And what's the first thing that always comes up in November?
Well, a few things. Election Day, usually. There's Veterans Day.
Yep.
And Thanksgiving.
Exactly. So, now, of course, out of all those things, the first thing that usually comes up is Election Day.
Yes.
So, now listen, we're not going to, on SFA Powerhouse, we're not going to endorse any politician or anything like that. We don't even discuss politics, okay?
No politics here.
We try to keep this focused on travel and seeing the sights of America, and hopefully one day beyond America. But nevertheless, we are still 1,000% all-American here.
Yes.
Okay? In fact, we're working on a project right now where we are going to read every single word of the United States Constitution, all of the articles and all of the amendments.
Yes.
We started that project already. Hopefully we'll get it up and soon. Hopefully before the 4th of July of 2025.
July of 2026, actually.
Excuse me. Right. Yeah, excuse me. Hopefully we'll get that up before July 2026. Just in time for our country's 250th birthday.
Pretty much.
So that's the way we're going to honor that's the way we are going to honor the 250, by reading the Constitution.
Yep.
So, before we started, we still have ways to go. But of course, one of the biggest things that we do have in the Constitution is the guaranteed right to vote.
Yes.
And here at SFA Powerhouse, we will always advocate for every single American to go and vote every single election day.
Basically, if you don't vote, don't gripe. Basically. So, go out there, make your voice heard. It may not be a loud voice, but it's a voice. So, go out and vote. And once again, if you don't vote, don't gripe about how things are.
Exactly. If you choose not to vote, then don't you dare complain when things do not go your way.
Exactly.
Because going to the ballot box and making your voice heard is probably the most important civic duty that you have, not just for your city, not just for your state, but also for your country.
Exactly.
Okay? Vote on every single thing, not just for the President of the United States. Vote every single year that you can. That way, you know for sure you are putting your 2 cents in for your community and for your state.
Exactly.
For example, this past one that we just did, there was a lot of constitutional amendments for the Texas Constitution that I thought were really important. I'm not going to go into the details about it, but I knew this was the way that I wanted to voice and make sure that my state goes in the right direction.
Exactly. Exactly.
We were not voting for no mayors or any major political offices were on the ballot this year.
No.
But some very important issues and amendments for the Texas Constitution were definitely on the ballot this year.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that our voice is heard.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter if you're voting for president or not. Every single election that you can, get out there and vote.
Exactly. Make your voice heard.
So, and again, things may not always go your way, but it's always better to have your voice be heard and give it the best chance to go your way than not. Because bear in mind, a lot of other countries don't have that right to vote.
No, they don't.
But here in America, that's one of the first things we wanted to do. Vote for what we believe in. Vote for what we want to see happen to our country.
Exactly. Exactly.
So again, that's one of the core all-American principles that is embedded into our Constitution, the right to vote.
Very, very, very true.
So, like I said, between now and then, keep an eye out for the U.S. Constitution video that SFAPowerhouse and Crew Chief will narrate.
That'll be coming up soon.
All right. I know the road is kind of loud here. I never really did like that this part of 165 was always this loud, but what can I do about the pavement?
Not much we can do.
Right, so that's why we're kind of speaking up towards the microphone right now.
Yes.
But I will say this. At this point, I've already read the preamble, and I've already read Article 1, which basically the basic foundational principles of the United States government.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, there were some things, a lot of those things I did know, but there was like 1 or 2 things that I was like, okay, I didn't quite understand that, but now I do.
Right.
So, as you're reading our part of the Constitution, make sure that we, the little bitty details all matter too. Okay? And that's what you gotta do. Everyone should read the Constitution at least once.
Exactly.
Everyone should.
Yeah.
This is just my opinion. This is just SFA Powerhouse's opinion. Spend at least some time reading every inch of the Constitution at least once.
Yep.
Okay? Besides, you never know what you can learn unless you read.
Exactly.
Alright, yeah, this pavement's getting really loud. I think that's all I really had planned for this podcast.
Same here.
Anything else you need to add, Crew Chief?
Not much. Just everyone have a blessed holiday season. And also this November, as always, give thanks to our veterans who've served our country, past, present, and any future generations that want to serve our country. Thank you for your service.
Amen. And we always thank our veterans, not just on Veterans Day, but on every day that we can.
Yes.
We come across them, we always tell them thank you and God bless you for everything that you do to protect our country and to protect our freedoms. Again, SFA Powerhouse and Crew Chief are 1,000% American. We will always support our troops, past, present, and future. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
God bless you all.
Hi everyone, Powerhouse and Crew Chief are back. We're on Interstate 10, about to cross over the Sabine River from Louisiana back over to the Lone Star State of Texas. And there is one little tradition that Powerhouse and Crew Chief love to do every time we cross back over to the Lone Star State. Crew Chief?
We salute.
When we see the Welcome to Texas flag and the Lone Star at this information rest area, we do salute. Because we love our home state, and we truly do love Texas. We're on the Sabine River Bridge right now. Right now, pretty full.
Yep.
This is Texas Travel Information Center. Pavement here.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good. And there's our Lone Star. Salute. Good. I guess they had to take down the Welcome to Texas sign with all this renovation, but nevertheless, that Lone Star was there in that rest area.
Yep.
But it's good to see that this portion of I-10 has shown some tremendous improvement, because for a while this was just a rocky road.
Very, very rocky.
Alright, we're back home in Texas. So this is SFAPowerhouse and Crew Chief signing off. We'll see y'all next time. Enjoy the ride.
God bless. See you next time.